Hello everyone! Today we are growing two varieties of pea shoots in coconut coir instead of in soil. Here I am stir frying them in olive oil with lots of garlic and some salt. Simple and delicious. Pea shoots have an earthy, woody taste when you eat them raw and a more delicate taste when you eat them stir fried. As for nutritional value, the USDA website, that is the United States Department of Agriculture's website, has an article showing the nutritional value of pea shoots. They call pea shoots the new ready-to-eat baby leaf vegetable. According to the study, pea shoots have high amounts of vitamin C, E, A, potassium, and phosphorus. They also contain high amounts of beta-carotene and lutein. So it's good for you too. If you live in an apartment, or if you live in a cold weather climate, or if you're stuck inside because of a global pandemic, then growing indoors is the way to go, and pea shoots are easy to grow. They are quick too, ready to eat in about 14 days. In this video I will be growing in coconut coir. Coconut coir is made from the husk on the outer shell of a coconut. It has a neutral pH of between 5.8 and 6.8, and it can be used as an alternative to peat moss. It works great for indoor growing because it comes as a compressed brick and takes up much less space than bags of soil. This box I have didn't come with instructions, but it's pretty simple to use. Since it is dry and in a compressed form, they call these bricks. You need to reconstitute the brick by soaking it in water before using it. It's simple to do, just put the brick into a waterproof container and add water. The coconut coir will soak up the water and keep expanding until you have a nice fluffy medium ready to use. So in this video I will be using coconut coir to grow two types of peas, dun peas and speckled peas. I'm using meal prep trays as growing containers. These food trays are BPA free and made to take food with you on the go. They don't have any drainage holes, so why am I using them? I actually ran out of planting trays because I used all of them for my seed starts. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and so you use what you have. These work fine with coconut coir. The coconut coir retains a lot of moisture. With soil, you would need to make sure you have drainage holes, but I find the coconut coir is much more forgiving. Here are the peas I'm planting. This is the dun pea variety, and this one is the speckled pea variety. They are both from True Leaf, which is also called Mountain Valley Seed Company. The dun peas were just under $6 for a pound. They're labeled non-GMO and grown in the United States. Here's the growing information given on the True Leaf website. The other pea I'm planting is the speckled pea variety. These are just a bit more expensive, but they are certified organic and grown in Canada. Both the dun peas and the speckled peas are labeled as non-GMO. So let's get to planting these. Here I have two containers filled with coconut coir and ready to plant. Two containers, one for the dun peas and one for the speckled pea variety. I wanted to see side by side if they grew differently and if they tasted differently. I measured out a quarter cup of the speckled organic peas. Make sure you pick out any broken peas. They won't sprout and they can contaminate the rest of your grow. So get rid of them. And then pour the seeds into a bowl of water and soak for at least 4 hours. I soak them overnight. And now for the dun peas. I measure out a quarter cup of those. You can see they are lighter in color than the speckled peas. And those go into water for an overnight soak as well. Check again. If you see any peas that are not whole, take them out. Okay, now we're going to leave these to soak overnight. It's the next day, around 10 hours later, and I'm ready to plant these. I made up some labels so I wouldn't mix up which were the speckled peas and which were the dun peas. I watered the coconut coir with a hydroponic solution using the Grow Big formula from Fox Farms. It's really easy to use. Just measure out 2 teaspoons of the Grow Big into a gallon of water and shake. The microgreens will grow if you don't use a nutrient solution but they will grow bigger and faster if you do feed them. And so I did, but unfortunately I forgot to tape that part. Alright, so now these have been soaking for around 10 hours. I dumped out the water, gave them a little rinse, and now I'm spreading them out over the coconut coir, and still picking out any peas that I see that are not whole. And now I'm spreading out the done peas, and also still finding some broken peas. So here we have the speckled peas on the left and the done peas on the right. Now I give the peas a final spray of water, cover them up, and then place some glass mason jars on them as a weight. The peas should be in the dark for the first couple of days until they start developing leaves. Then you can uncover them and let them grow. The weight on the trays helps the peas to have good contact with the medium, and it also encourages strong root production. Alright, here it is the very next day. I'm going to call this day 1. Maybe it's really day 2. But it's the first day after planting. Although maybe day 1 was planting day. Or maybe day 1 should be soaking the peas in water day. But regardless, let's just call this day 1. And you can see little tails on the peas in both trays. I gave the peas a spray of water and then covered them up again. Now it is the next day, so let's call this day 2. And you can see the little tails have gotten a little longer. I'm spraying with regular filtered water without any added nutrients. I only add the nutrients on the first watering. After that, I just use plain filtered water. Now it's day 4, and you can see that these have gotten a bit taller. I'm going to cover these with the lid inverted now to let them keep growing, but I'm going to keep them in the dark for just a bit longer. I believe they stay more tender this way. Now it's still day 4, but later in the day, about 4 hours later, and you can see in just those couple of hours these pea shoots have grown a bit more. At this point, I don't see any difference between the growth on the speckled peas and the growth of the done peas. Today is day 5, and let's have a look. These are the speckled peas, and these are the done peas. Today is day 8, and look how the peas are pushing up against the lid. Now you can harvest the shoots at this stage. You don't get as much as you would if you would wait for them to grow a bit more, but they are so much more tasty and tender at this stage. It's really up to you. Snap one off and have a taste, and you decide. I decide to let them keep growing. Now at this point, their leaves are starting to show, so I'm going to leave these uncovered so they can green up and grow some more. And here we are 1 week later. This is day 15, and these shoots have greened up nicely and are ready for harvest. The speckled pea variety on the right looks a little fuller than the done variety on the left. Taste-wise, they tasted the same to me. You can eat these raw, or stir-fry them, or add them to a smoothie, or to your salad, whatever makes you happy. The tops of these plants are the most tender, so if you want, you can cut them a little higher up, and then you'll have a more tender tasting experience. If you cut them lower down, they are more fibrous and tougher, and in that case, they can be used in a stir-fry or in a soup. I let these grow a couple more days, so now we are actually at day 20. These could have, really should have, been harvested on day 14 or 15. The longer you let them grow, the more woody and tougher the lower stems get. But I got busy and I forgot about them. And in spite of me forgetting about them, they still kept growing. That's the beauty of coconut coir. It retains water really well, and it is light and fluffy. The roots really love growing in there. Speaking of roots, have a look at these. These roots have taken over the tray. Let's pick one out of the tray. You can see this has a rather thick stem, and it already has more than one shoot growing from it. The best tasting part of this shoot will be the top part. This stem is going to be too stringy to enjoy raw. I should have harvested these a couple of days ago if eating it raw was my intention. Now, if these are being grown out in the garden, you could just cut off the tops of the pea shoots and leave the plant in the ground, and it will grow more shoots. But in this crowded container, that isn't an option. You can see these have already outgrown the tray. These are good shoots to stir fry. Just get some garlic. I have 5 cloves here. We like lots of garlic. And I have this handy mini food processor I use mainly for chopping garlic. I bought this one quite a few years ago for around $10, and now I see on Amazon it's around $20, but it really does make the job of chopping garlic and onions so easy, and it's so small and easy to clean that I use it a lot in my cooking. Anyway, here I have the garlic chopped. Now all I need is some extra virgin olive oil. Saute the garlic in the oil, and now for the pea shoots. These are really quite a bit overgrown, and that's why I'm stir frying them. Here you can see this one. The top is the tender part, and of course I can't resist breaking off the top and eating it. No one will notice. The bottom is not so bad either, just a bit stringy. Okay, here you can see the garlic is ready. Now the pea shoots go in, and some Himalayan pink salt, and then stir fry until it looks ready. Meanwhile, you can munch on the raw tops. Keep stir frying until you feel the stems are getting a little wimpy, then the fibers are getting broken down and you'll have a better eating experience. And here are the pea shoots ready to eat. I hope you try growing these and then eat them any way you want. As for a taste difference between the dun variety and the speckled pea variety, my very unsophisticated palate did not detect a difference between the two. The organic speckled pea seemed to produce a higher yield than the dun pea. I'm not sure if it was significantly higher, but enough that I could see. On the other hand, the dun was a bit cheaper, so I think it's a wash in that regard. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I've inspired you to start growing, experimenting, and trying new things. Stay well and stay positive and productive. Thank you for watching. Bye!